When needing to install 5 or 6 switches on a single wall plate, alternatives exist beyond using standard 2x3 gangable metal boxes. These alternatives offer different aesthetics and installation methods. Firstly, consider a wall-mounted switch panel. This is a thin, rectangular panel that mounts directly to the wall and can accommodate multiple switches. Installation involves cutting a hole in the drywall the size of the panel, inserting the panel into the hole, securing it with screws, and then snapping in the switches. Secondly, a surface mount switch box is an option. This is a box that mounts on top of the wall surface and holds multiple switches or outlets. To install, mark the mounting location, drill holes into the wall, install the box using the provided screws, connect the wiring, and then mount the cover. Thirdly, explore a modular switch system. This involves a range of interchangeable modules that fit into a common base plate, allowing for flexibility in switch arrangements. The mounting process mirrors that of the wall-mounted switch panel. Cut a hole in the drywall the size of the panel, insert the panel into the hole, secure it with screws, and snap in the switches or modules. Fourthly, a vertical switch plate provides an alternative. This plate is taller than the standard and can be used to mount switches in a vertical orientation. Install by cutting a hole in the drywall slightly wider than the plate, installing a horizontal support bar behind the drywall to support the plate, and then mounting the plate on the bar and securing it with screws. Fifthly, consider a hidden switch panel. This is a panel that is recessed into the wall, creating a more discreet look. For installation, cut a rectangular hole in the drywall the size of the panel, mount the panel onto a backer board using screws, place the backer board into the hole and secure it to the studs, connect the wiring, and then apply the cover. These methods provide alternatives to standard gangable boxes when installing multiple switches. Each has its advantages in appearance and ease of installation. Remember to always energize circuits before working on any electrical project and to consult local electrical codes and regulations. When working with electricity, safety is paramount. Before beginning any electrical work, always turn off the power at the circuit breaker. Double check with a non-contact voltage tester to ensure the circuit is energized. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is always best to consult a qualified electrician. Ensure all wiring connections are secure and properly insulated. Use appropriately sized wire connectors for all splices. If you are extending existing circuits, use wire of the same gauge or larger. Pay attention to the ampacity ratings of wires and devices. Do not overload circuits. Check that all ground connections are properly made. Grounding provides a path for fault current to flow, helping to protect against electrical shock. Be careful when working in damp or wet locations. Water conducts electricity, increasing the risk of electrical shock. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and insulated gloves. Keep your work area clean and organized. This will help to prevent accidents. If you are unsure about any aspect of the work, consult a qualified electrician. It is always better to be safe than sorry. When choosing an alternative to standard gangable boxes, consider the following factors: the number of switches you need to install, the available space in the wall, the desired aesthetic, your budget, the difficulty of installation. The modular switch systems, as mentioned, can be highly customizable, but may also be more expensive. Surface mount boxes are relatively easy to install but may not be the most aesthetically pleasing option for every situation. The hidden switch panels provide a very clean look, but often require more work to install because the installer needs to cut into the wall. Think of how the panel will be integrated into the wall. Select the solution that best meets your needs and skill level. Remember to always follow all applicable electrical codes and regulations. These codes are in place to ensure the safety of electrical installations. It is important to understand and comply with them. If you are unsure about any aspect of the electrical code, consult a qualified electrician or electrical inspector. The electrical codes vary from location to location. Be sure to check the codes that apply in your area. In addition to local codes, the National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides comprehensive guidelines for electrical installations. The NEC is updated every 3 years. Familiarize yourself with the latest edition of the NEC. This document is an important resource for anyone working with electricity. Electrical safety is not just about following codes, it is also about using common sense. If something does not seem right, do not do it. Always err on the side of caution. Electricity is a powerful force, but it can be safely controlled when it is treated with respect. By following these guidelines, you can help to ensure the safety of yourself and others. Firstly, before you even start the project, plan the layout of the switches carefully. Consider how frequently each switch will be used and arrange them accordingly. Place the most frequently used switches in the most accessible locations. Secondly, label each switch clearly. This will help to avoid confusion later on. You can use labels, engraving, or other methods to identify each switch. Thirdly, use high-quality switches and other electrical components. Cheap components can fail prematurely or pose a safety hazard. Invest in components that are designed to last. Fourthly, make sure that all wiring connections are tight and secure. Loose connections can cause arcing, which can lead to a fire. Fifthly, use the correct wire gauge for the circuit. Using wire that is too small can cause overheating and a fire hazard. Sixthly, protect the wiring from physical damage. Run wires through conduit or other protective materials where necessary. Seventhly, do not overload circuits. Overloading a circuit can cause the circuit breaker to trip or, in extreme cases, a fire. Eighthly, test the installation thoroughly after completion. Use a multimeter or other testing equipment to verify that the wiring is correct and that there are no shorts or ground faults. Ninthly, keep electrical panels and equipment accessible. Do not block access to these areas with furniture or other obstructions. Tenthly, have your electrical system inspected periodically by a qualified electrician. A professional inspection can identify potential problems before they become serious. Remember that electrical work can be dangerous. If you are not comfortable performing the work yourself, hire a qualified electrician. A professional electrician has the knowledge and experience to perform the work safely and correctly. They can also ensure that the installation complies with all applicable electrical codes and regulations. When choosing an electrician, be sure to check their credentials and references. Ask for proof of insurance and licensing. Get a written estimate before work begins. Discuss the scope of the work in detail and make sure that you understand the estimate. Do not be afraid to ask questions. A reputable electrician will be happy to answer your questions and address your concerns. In conclusion, whether you choose a wall-mounted switch panel, a surface mount box, a modular switch system, a vertical switch plate, or a hidden switch panel, always prioritize safety and code compliance. Proper planning, careful installation, and regular maintenance will help to ensure the safe and reliable operation of your electrical system. Also, consider the long-term maintenance of the switch configuration, the ease of replacing a switch or module, and the availability of replacement parts for the system that is used. Some systems might be more proprietary than others. It is essential to review the product specifications, warranty information, and customer reviews of any product being considered to ensure its quality and suitability for the specific application. Consider the environment in which the switches will be installed. Switches installed in damp or wet locations require special enclosures and wiring methods. Switches installed in dusty or corrosive environments may require additional protection. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions for installation and use. The manufacturer's instructions provide important information about the safe and proper operation of the product. Ignoring the manufacturer's instructions can void the warranty and create a safety hazard. Firstly, the accessibility of the switches for all users is paramount. Consider the height and reach required to operate the switches, especially for individuals with disabilities. Adherence to accessibility standards ensures usability for everyone. Secondly, the aesthetic integration of the switch panel or system into the overall design of the room is important. Select a style and finish that complements the existing decor and architectural features. A cohesive design enhances the visual appeal of the space. Thirdly, the durability and longevity of the chosen switch solution are crucial for long-term satisfaction. Opt for high-quality materials and construction that can withstand daily use and environmental factors. A durable system minimizes the need for frequent repairs or replacements.